What's up, people? Welcome back to Film Talk, but this time is fast forward. This means that today you're going to get not just one review, but various reviews. I don't know how many. I think there are nine reviews. Yeah. By the way, I look down because I have the just in case. So let's begin. So first up is Frozen. So what did you think about Frozen? I thought that it was a pretty good movie. I like the music. Obviously, there are some songs that stand out more than the others. And as a film in the franchise of Frozen, I think that I believe that they shouldn't make another Frozen because the ending for both Anna and Elsa feels just so fitting as a true ending for them because Elsa finally feels like she's home, she has another place to rule as the element of ice, and Anna finally gets to be a queen, and she gets married to Kristoff, which resolves every single arc that the characters went through on the first film. So that's why I think that they should make another. I really enjoyed Kristoff in this movie. I think that he has one of the best songs. Now I know you're my true north, 'cause I am lost in the woods. And with that in mind, I give this movie the rating of 8 ice crystals out of 10. So next up we have Harley Quinn. I really love the series. I love the way that they mess with the characters and give a new take on each one of the characters. My favorite characters right now have been Kite Man.
Hell yeah!
Good God.
And King Shark. I've only watched the first season. I haven't had time to watch the second season, but I've seen some spoilers out there, and by what I've seen, I think that I'm probably gonna enjoy the second season as much as the first season. So with this in mind, I give at least the first season, because it's the one that I've watched, the rating of 9 diamonds out of 10. So next up we have Phantom of the Opera. The Phantom of the Opera is there inside your mind. Phantom of the Opera is a movie that I've been meaning to watch for a long time. I'm a big musicals fan, but I don't watch many musicals, which is my problem. But every time that I watch a musical, I love it. And The Phantom of the Opera has been one of the best musicals that I've ever seen. I love the music. I love one of the voices that for me that stands out is from the Phantom of the Opera himself. Like, he has one of the best voices in the movie. And also I love the way they introduce us to the story when the theater starts going back in time and it's all dusty and then it's all like new and all this stuff, and that's how we get to the first act. And while that is happening, we hear like the theme of the Phantom of the Opera playing through that scene. So with that in mind, I give this movie the rating of 10 masks out of 10. So next up is Sabrina.
Call me Daddy.
Sabrina is actually the second Netflix series that I've watched. The first one being Marvel's Jessica Jones, which I really enjoyed the series, but this is not about Jessica Jones. So yeah, the interesting thing I have to take about Sabrina is that mostly Sabrina is not a very likable character, because she has this attitude that she can do whatever she wants just because of who she is. But the series never suffers from that, because it constantly has this thematic that they're gonna punish her, showing her that her actions do have consequences. So with that in mind, my prediction for next season is that that last action that she took on the last episode, that's probably gonna get another payoff next season, because she probably has to pay for that just because she did it because she thought she could. Also, am I the only one that, while I was watching the third season, I was like, on the last 2 episodes, I was like, okay, so this is Sabrina Infinity War, and this is Sabrina Endgame. If you saw it, then you know what I mean. Either way, I still enjoy the series, and Ambrose has become one of my most favorite characters of all time. So with that in mind, I give this series the rating of 8 Acheron configurations out of 10. So next up is 1917. 1917 is not the first movie to try and go with the one take route, making the whole movie seem like it's only one take, but it's the first one that I've seen and I really enjoyed it. I'm kind of glad that I didn't do a review on this movie before, because even though I was watching the movie, I saw some of the cuts. After watching Corridor's crew video where they react to some of these scenes, I didn't knew that some of those shots were seamlessly because they had CG doubles.
And that was it. That was it.
That was a transition?
Yeah. So they did a CG double
Oh, I see what you're saying.
to morph between the two different shots.
This is a scene where we have characters starting at point A at the end of one shot, and they begin at point B in the next shot. And in order to transition between them, they basically transition to a completely CG character to complete that movement from one location to the next.
So I was amazed on how seamlessly they make it look. Like, if you're looking for it, then yes, you're going to find it. But on first instance, you're never gonna see that you're never gonna realize that there is a difference between the real actor and the CG double. So still, with that in mind, I give this movie 9 military helmets out of 10. So now let's move to Zombieland Double Tap. Zombieland Double Tap is one of the movies that I was really looking forward to last year, since I watched the first one and I really enjoyed it. This second installment of the franchise, I believe that it was so cool. I loved it, and watching it I had like this nostalgic feeling for the first one, which I really love. And I really love that it gives you a sense that the characters have been doing this for years, even to the point that they give names to specific kinds of zombies. With that in mind, I give this movie the rating of 9 bullet shells out of 10. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was a movie that I was attracted to because of how fun the trailer looked. This is actually the first film that I watched from Quentin Tarantino, and it being the first one, I can really see why there is a lot of people that love Quentin Tarantino. I really had a fun time watching this movie. I like how things that from the beginning of the movie come back in the end, and you can like feel like the story was fun, and knowing whatever happened in real life, watching this alternate take, it's like very heartwarming. I really loved every single part of this movie, and the performances of Leo and Brad Pitt were so awesome, and me being someone that is trying to get into the acting business, I really can enjoy it a little bit more. So with that in mind, I give this movie the rating of 9.5 clapperboards out of 10. Next up is Le Choristes, or The Chorus. This is a movie that I never thought I would be reviewing. The reason that I saw this movie was because of my ethics class. It was part of the lessons that we were taking there. And it turned out to be a pretty fun movie. Like usually when you watch movies for a class, like you don't really enjoy them. But we watched it in class, it was in French, but it had subtitles, so it was a little hard for me to follow, but I still was able to get the full message through. So if you don't know what the movie is, the movie centers around like a school where that houses kids or something like that. I don't know if it was a school. It looks like a school but a foster home, but it's also like where delinquent kids go to. And also they're all boys, so all the boys that are in this school are thought to be like malbehaved delinquents or something like that. So the main character is a teacher that arrives at the school and he starts teaching, but his main dream and motivation is to make music and have a choir he can direct. While he's in the school, he tries to make a chorus out of the boys just to show people that they actually are better than what they are giving credit for, and that there's actually a good side to every single one of them. It's a pretty enjoyable movie, very heartwarming, so if you haven't watched it, I really recommend you to watch it. So with that in mind, I give this movie the rating of 9.5 music notes out of 10. And last but not least, we have the Joker. Since everybody talked about the Joker already, everybody has an opinion on it. We all have a positive opinion on it. That's why I decided to put it here instead of giving it a video of its own. So, what I have probably nothing to add more than everybody has already said. I believe the movie was amazing. It was awesome. And Joaquin Phoenix really deserved that Oscar for Best Actor. He has done one of the best acting roles that I have ever seen on screen. So that was well deserved. So with that in mind, I give this movie the rating of 10 smiles out of 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know the lighting has been all over the place during this video, but I'm depending on the sun from the outside. I have my windows open and I have to deal with a lot of outside noise. So when all is said and all is done, I hope I'll see you on the next upload.